Here are the top foods that can help to improve blood flow, lower blood pressure, enhance your mental and physical performance, and benefit cardiovascular health. Number one, beets. Beets contain nitrates. Nitrates can be converted into nitrites, which are converted into nitric oxide, a vasodilator, opening the blood vessels, improving blood flow throughout the whole body, crossing the blood-brain barrier as well. That means providing improved blood flow to the brain. Nitrates we find in beetroot. Number two, garlic. Garlic enhances the activity or promotes the activation of an enzyme called nitric oxide synthase. Nitric oxide synthase is something that converts arginine into nitric oxide. So we have enhanced blood flow once again. All these really are based on improving or the activity of nitric oxide, preserving it or protecting it, or boosting nitric oxide production. Number three, meat. Poultry, red meat, fish, and seafood boost nitric oxide levels because they contain high levels of something known as coenzyme Q10, or also known as CoQ10, which boosts nitric oxide levels in the body. Number four, dark chocolate. Believe it or not, dark chocolate contains flavonols. They're a type of polyphenol or antioxidant that improves blood flow, protects nitric oxide from oxidative damage from free radicals, and so sustaining higher levels of nitric oxide. Number five, leafy greens. Had to be in there. Leafy greens maybe could be closer up to the top, but they contain nitrates, same way as beets do, improving blood flow, increasing nitric oxide production because they're converted to nitrites, right? And then nitric oxide. After leafy greens, we have nuts and seeds. Nuts and seeds contain high levels of arginine. Arginine is converted into nitric oxide, and we said through nitric oxide synthase activity, right? And so any food that contains arginine or that contains citrulline would boost nitric oxide levels. And we'll talk at the end of the video about the difference between citrulline and arginine in boosting nitric oxide. What's better if taken in isolation? Citrus fruits. Citrus fruits contain high levels of vitamin C, as do red bell peppers, for example, as well. Kiwi fruit's one of the highest, and oranges and lemons alike all contain vitamin C, which actually enhances the bioavailability or the absorption of nitric oxide. So increasing that absorption. And what's something that increases the capacity for nitric oxide to be absorbed in the first place in the body? Well, it's actually garlic as well. It doesn't only promote nitric oxide synthase, but increases the total amount of nitric oxide that can be absorbed, which is super fascinating. So you combine that with things that boost nitric oxide in other ways, something that would say contain nitrates, for example, right? And you combine it with vitamin C, increasing the absorption of it in itself. Pretty neat stuff. Watermelon. Watermelon contains high levels of L-citrulline, the amino acid in the beginning of that nitric oxide pathway, at least one of them. There are a few. And that goes citrulline, arginine, nitric oxide, right? And so we have the citrulline in watermelon, just like we have the arginine in the nuts and seeds in that pathway. Red wine, believe it or not. Red wine contains polyphenolic compounds as well. Antioxidant compounds that improve blood flow. They reduce oxidative damage done to nitric oxide, and so they help to sustain or promote nitric oxide activity. All right, so that's what we got for you guys today. I hope you found it interesting. I sure did. Again, it's good for, these things are for lowering blood pressure, improving cerebral blood flow to the whole body, just something that's good for you, right? It seems bodes well. Now, one more I want to mention, pomegranate. We could also put on this list. Pomegranate has high levels of antioxidants, also, again, in the same way, reducing oxidative damage to nitric oxides helps sustain higher levels of nitric oxide. So now we said, let's talk about the difference. If we're going to supplement with something, because why can't I just supplement with nitrates? We'll go try to find nitrates in a supplement, and it's very hard to, due to the very strict regulations on nitrates because of sodium nitrates, which are very different than nitrates we find in leafy greens or beet. You see beetroot being taken commonly as a pre-workout ingredient, right? And it's because it has those nitrates. So nitrates, citrulline, or arginine? What do we want to take to boost nitric oxide? You'd love to get the nitrates from food, number one, and have all the foods that we listed, watermelon with citrulline, and the arginine and nuts and seeds and things like that promote nitric oxide synthase we talked about. But if you're going to supplement with something, citrulline is probably our first choice over L-arginine. So why L-citrulline? Well, typically it bodes well to go with something earlier in the pathway. And you look stuff up online, you might not find this, but I've been working on making a supplement for years now. It'll be coming out actually in a few weeks. Super U for naturally enhancing mental and physical performance. But over this time, you see citrulline over arginine for improving blood flow, because arginine promotes the production of arginase enzyme. And arginase helps to actually break down arginine. It promotes the degradation of it in a negative feedback loop, whereas citrulline does not promote the production of arginase directly. Citrulline also has a lower what's called first pass metabolism, so less citrulline is going to be degraded before it reaches tissues. And so wouldn't it be great to combine citrulline with, say, vitamin C? That improves its bioavailability. Seems like it would make sense in a supplement. Now, if people take equal levels of arginine and citrulline, the citrulline will produce more nitric oxide. If you take both of them, pretty similar to just citrulline alone. You can look into that for yourself. But if it were me, I'd go for L-citrulline malate. So citrulline bound to malic acid at a 2-to-1 ratio, citrulline to malic acid. What is malic acid? It's an intermediate in the Krebs cycle, aka the citric acid cycle, which is an energy-producing pathway that occurs in the mitochondria of our cells to promote the production of adenosine triphosphate, ATP. So you combine something that is an energy producer in the body and cellular respiration downstream, and you combine it with something that improves blood flow, that crosses the blood-brain barrier. Seems like a pretty good combo. So if you were going to go for one of those, I would say go for that. Let's see who we got out here. Say hi to the homies. I feel like I wanted to tell you guys something, but maybe I'll remember in a second. When they edit the video, they could just put it in. What up, Zach? How you doing? Hannah Soul. I just got done with a savage workout before legs. We're still doing that leg challenge. They've been dying. Adrian P. Zackenstein. William the Foodie. What's happening, you guys? 1GSH. Why nitric oxide is good for you? It improves blood flow to your tissues. It's a vasodilator, so it opens up blood vessels, right? Reducing blood pressure, improving blood flow, cardiovascular function, cerebral blood flow to the brain, right? Art is life. That's why nitric oxide is good. Danny boy, what's happening? Roseangela de Cassi Oliveira. What's going on? It's the longest name I've ever heard in my life. How you doing? Missy Kaza, what's up? Berlin Bad, Art is Life. What up, Janaina? How you doing? I hope I see you tomorrow in the clinic. Yeah, sure will. Ashish, what's happening? Diego Loster. My phone keeps. What is going on? There we go. Marcus Rose Fashion. What up, Malcolm? Hot since 89. My man. Oh, no. What up, John and Dress? John Crosco. Half African. You guys have a fantastic rest of your night. Thank you so much. And happy Wellness. We'll see you tomorrow.